Hey, it's the Mouse Knight coming to you once again from the Minecraft Prelude SMP server, and it has been a while, hasn't it? It's been quite a long while. In fact, I sort of dropped the ball on this in general, and I look back and realize, wow, essentially from about January, February last year until November. That's a whole year's worth of recording that I didn't pull together in any videos, didn't really post. Heck, when was the last video? Was the last video in May? Maybe? Either way, I am very behind. And I had no idea what to do about this, if I'm honest. I Stuff happened, and then it just sort of spiraled, and it became harder and harder to edit videos again. And anytime I would see other creators I follow post videos, I would have this momentary fleeting motivation to go and open my editing software and edit, and then it would come time to, and I wouldn't do it. Honestly, I can't explain why. So here I am now, having mostly edited a video that is footage from like last year, beginning of last year, this time last year, in fact. And here we are. And that is just what it's going to be for now. Me catching up. I don't know that many people watch my videos anyway. Nobody was probably starving for Mouse Knight content, but it was a project I wanted to do, and I think that, I mean, we're all harder on ourselves than we maybe are on other people, but I think I just thought I was gonna be able to manage it, and I couldn't, and I'm hoping to get back into it and get back into the swing of things. I don't want to make any promises. I have a year's worth of content to get through. It's not that many hours, but it's a year's worth of content that I need to somehow format into a video that makes sense. I don't know if it's gonna all be in one video and just go quick, here's a highlights reel of everything that happened last year, or if it's going to be, you know, one video a month, a week. I don't know. I don't want to make any promises that I know I can't keep. So let's just say, if you're seeing video footage from the Minecraft Prelude SMP from me, it's not gonna be current. It's probably gonna be from last year. So if you hear me talking about things, just know it's heavily in the past tense. But other than that, I'll let us get to this past me in this video. And realistically, I probably should tell you what's going on in this video too. That's what an intro's supposed to do. Instead of me just whining and complaining about how I can't do things. So this video is mostly me working on a bridge and talking to Navy and Yellow, because Yellow was streaming and we were just kind of messing around talking about accents, and I was working on a bridge, and frankly I actually do like how this bridge turned out, so you know, that's one thing to be proud of. I think the bridge is pretty good. It looks a little weird, I'll admit, but honestly I think that fits with everything I've been working on so far. So hopefully you enjoy that. There's a very brief time lapse in here, and I will catch up and get to where I need to be, or where I want to be more accurately. All right, let's go.
Also, you've been in my space.
Huh?
You have been in my space.
I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean?
Things have moved. You think I didn't notice?
There's quite substantial changes, so yeah, I guess you should notice.
I have a table and some chairs and some weird thing on my table.
You can eat it with a bowl.
You've messed with my, I joke, but you've messed with my farm?
I expanded it for you. I could tell you wanted more potatoes and you didn't have enough.
Yes, and you added melons as well. You have messed with my farm.
I think the melon was... Oh, yeah, because you had asked about melon, and I brought melon seed with me, so I just put it down.
Also, this basket. Is the basket not supposed to be on both ends?
No, so the basket needs to be on the right-hand side for it to collect items that pop out of the stove, like in a frying pan.
There are cupboards in my house.
Yeah, I make cupboards for you.
You've been in my kitchen and you've been cooking in my kitchen.
Yes, because you said you needed food and you were sick, so I felt bad for you.
I admittedly I have been very sick. I don't know if anyone in chat has looked any far into my like month-long absence or anything there. I was sick and I sounded like I was going to cough up a frog. So or like sounded a lot like a dying frog. So
Why do you have so much experience with dying frogs? I have concerns.
well, no, I sounded very croaky.
You did.
Also, there's a big wooden thing in my wall.
In your wall. Well,
I assume you're doing as well.
I did make you a trapdoor so you didn't die again.
Oh right, yeah, that.
Cause I almost fell, so I was like, no, this ain't staying like this. What is wrong with this person?
I mean, you're the one who lives with this person, so I think that says more to what's wrong with you.
No, it's definitely about you.
Okay, I have two questions, but one is a side note, like, has nothing to do with what we talking about. Where are you from? Like, you have an accent, or am I tripping?
Me or Trisha?
I mean, we're from the same place. We have the same accent.
You would think.
I sound a little different. I'm aware that I'm not necessarily as.
I hear it differently from Rainbow. Like, I hear it different. I don't know. It's like
We're from the same spot, so theoretically we have the same accent. I'm aware that I do.
Like
my sound is different than Rainbow's sound.
She puts
It was more of a joke than.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you put certain emphasis on. Like, you don't have to tell me like this. Like, you can tell me the. Can you tell me the? Like Midwest, Southwest, East. You know.
I mean, we were both from Canada. I don't know if that helps.
Oh!
Like, can you hear it now?
Yeah. I was like, emphasis on certain spots. I was like, okay, that makes way more sense. Thank you.
You're trying to figure out where in America we were.
I just assumed.
I love that, like, they don't sound like no Americans I've ever heard. That's great, I love it. Because, like...
And it's so American of me to assume that you're in America. It's like...
No, it's okay.
But I'm just like, yeah, you gotta be. And then I was like, no, they don't sound right. I'm like...
That's the thing I find funnier. They don't sound right. They must be American.
I was like, nah, I was like, let me just ask.
That's amazing. I love it. This is the best conversation.
Because that was the second time you said something and you put an emphasis on a syllable that I just haven't heard. So I was just like,
wait, what was it that was the emphasis? Can you point it out? I'm curious.
Well, every time you say it out, it just, I have to, when you get to talking, I'll see if I can point it out.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll say certain things. I'm like, that ain't, I was like, well, maybe they're from the north, like like in the New England area.
I mean, we are north-ish Canada.
I mean, not Canada though. I'm still in my USA head, so I'm like, okay.
I know. But on the note of like, they sound north isn't necessarily inaccurate.
That's true too. I mean, so part of me is right.
Just a little bit more north than you expected.
Right. I was like, after a while, you kept talking. I was like, no, this girl's not from where I think she's from.
Doesn't sound like an American.
Basically, I was like, no, they ain't sounding right.
That's so amazing because, like, it's so funny because, like, I feel like I don't even. I used to probably when I was a lot younger, but like I feel like I don't even notice accents that much anymore. Like I was watching a YouTuber the other day, and like my sister commented like, "Oh, they're British," and I'm like, "Oh, are they?" I'm just like, oh, I'm just watching the thing move pretty blocks around the screen. I wasn't really paying that much attention. Typically, I think, like, I feel like I don't hear that much of a difference between most Americans talking, which is
Well,
Probably
I
just
do-
like a weirdness of me not being in America, though. Like, I feel like maybe if I
Like-
was there, I would notice. Maybe.
Well, and the thing there might be kind of like your familiarity with it as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In regards to, like, you know, Navy there being American, is I've heard, like, granted, I'm bad at picking up on accents and sounds and things just for who I am. Like, I'm bad at faces, I'm bad at sounds, I'm bad at accents, all of that. But I'm aware that there is a difference between, like, an Albertan accent and a Newfoundland accent and an Ontarian accent. Kind of like the States there, like, just due to how big we are, there's this accent drift. I mean, even in places that are smaller, like, if you listen to people talk about anime and things, and even in Japan, there's apparently an accent drift.
I don't know. Accents are just really entertaining to me because it's crazy to me how, like, even in the same area, if you go so many miles this way or so many miles the other way, you can have completely different sounds from the same, like, they're from the same place, but not, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that makes absolute sense. I feel like that's something that like I forget about even as a Canadian. Like I was poking at like me not getting the American accents, but like I don't know, like even as a Canadian I forget that Canadians sound different depending on where you are cuz like people be like that person definitely sounded like they were from Newfoundland and I'm like I didn't hear that, but okay, I trust you. Like
Hey, there you
Yeah,
go.
there's a difference in accents between, like, Newfoundland, Alberta.
and some are more pronounced than others, and that's another thing I think is the thing is like even if there is a difference, like sometimes like depending on the person, it might not be noticeable.
Oh,
From how they talk. Yeah. No. Hey, just when you was talking right there. So the reason why I was confused, because I feel like I have to like justify. The reason why I was confused is that you have certain parts of like when you talk, you sound like, which is why I think I just made you feel it. You sound like you almost kind of sound southern a little bit, but then you'll do something that you have like a way of lifting a word up when you talk.
Huh.
And
Hey,
so,
all you can call me out for saying a boot, I'm fine.
well, not well, yeah. Well, anytime you say out or you elongate a lot of different vowels, but you lift them up as well. So I was like, no, you can't be American.
Maybe it's
like,
because we kept the U in some of our words.
yeah. So maybe that's what
I
it
don't
is.
know.
Like, the difference between American and Canadian spelling is America just got rid of you.
So yeah, that's why but I didn't know you guys were from the same place because you don't. To me, you don't sound the same.
I sound a little bit funny. And a lot of people even here, though, like, Canadian born and raised, and if we're talking about, like, dialect across Canada there, I've never really lived outside of Ontario. But I do have, it's essentially just a lisp. I presume it's, like, no doctor has ever clarified. But I presume it's because I've got a movement disability that technically affects finite muscle movement. And I spent so much time having to do speech therapy. So I do sound a little bit funny.
But also not just like the sound, but even just the way you guys term certain phrases, you don't do it in the same way. So I just didn't assume y'all were from the same like place.
Yeah.
Like Rainbow like I said, she speaks up, if that makes sense. To me it sounds like she speaks up. And then you sound like you sound like you speak very directly. So it just
I think I'm just a more direct person.
It might be, but to be fair, we also did technically grow up in different places. Like you're from Southern Ontario, and I'm from Northern Ontario, and
Okay.
and you were from like you're from like a metropolitan area. I'm from like bumfuck nowhere basically, and I'm apologizing for swearing on stream. My bad.
I said I'm country and I'm right.
Yeah, there we go. You sussed it out. You were very.
But that's why I thought I thought it was like U.S. country, but it's just not. It's just yeah. But you're like from the city. That I can hear that. Like I can legit hear that.
You can hear the GTA.
Honestly, even when I met Trisha, even the slang she would use was very different than like.
Oh my god, are you going to get me in trouble for rubbers again?
No, that's just something you should feel eternal shame for.
What?
So, do you want to explain it? Do you want to?
Okay, part of this I just think is, yeah, I'm also aware that I use a lot more, kind of on the note of like being more aware now that I'm streaming content, I also use a lot more older English than most people my generation do.
Okay.
Yeah, because you had hang out with a lot of old people.
How do you say that not make it sound weird, but yes.
Sorry. You just had like a lot of older relatives than I did.
At 5, I was hanging out with like 50-year-olds.
Say
Yeah.
that instead.
But as for the note of phrases I use that other people don't,
Mhm.
when I first moved here and I started making friends with people my own age and all of that, I got mocked a bit because I was used to referring to rubber boots as rubbers. Because you shorten rubber boots and rubbers.
Okay, I can already tell. Okay, cool.
But there's something else that most people our age would refer to rubbers as.
Yeah, I was like, that's not a rubber.
No.
It's way worse than
Well, like the rubbers I was referring to are the rubbers that go on your feet. The rubbers most like I found out other people refer to rubbers as go on between your legs.
Yeah. So definitely just like a difference in like just
Well,
words used.
Yeah, a difference in word use and something that like my early college self got mocked profusely for.
Yeah. Indeed.
Which I mean, understandable. That is totally the type of thing that like fresh out of high school, people are gonna look at you and go, ah.
Well, it's initial confusion, right? It's like, what are you putting on your feet?
What's that
Right?
do?
And it's just like, you're weirder than I thought. Yeah.
Oh, on the note of things that one refers to rubbers as, a comment from Java there in chat. Apparently in the UK, they refer to erasers as rubbers.
Oh, yes, I've heard of this.
Yeah, that's true.
There we go. 3 different things that one can refer to rubbers as, and very different things that people are gonna think you're talking about.
Indeed. Oh, I'm sure there's other stuff like that too. I think I might leave the green for now. I was thinking of swapping it out to amethyst because I felt like it didn't really match. Like when I come back here and you look at it next to my house.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the house is the one that in this angle feels like it doesn't fit. Like when I look at the
Well,
house in comparison to like the mining shack, they match a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe I just need to put in some dark oak. Maybe I don't know. What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, yeah. Either some either some dark oak or, um, yeah. You can make the middle roof, like if you want the moss, like if you really want to keep the moss, maybe make the middle roof part dark oak or make it, I guess I don't know if I want.
Oh
Wow.
wow! Did you just see that
Yes, they literally just spawn like
on my
instantly.
roof,
Yeah.
bro? We got pillagers
oh
Yeah.
no!
on my roof.
Oh no!
I didn't realize they could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, they can spawn in weird places. I guess if your roof is technically a village, or if it's by a village.
I don't even. They can just spawn anywhere, and I think it's near players. Also, the banner guy just ran away, which I
Yeah.
mean, fair. I have flint and steel.
He legit
Set him
was
on
like,
fire! It may be raining, but set him on fire!
Oh, there he is.
oh, right, I shouldn't do that. I realized I shouldn't shoot him after I also get out of the way.
Stop moving, sir. Just stay in the fire, would you?
It would be convenient.
Wouldn't it? Ouch. Stop that.
I love your little signs that like to tell yourself what to do is so funny.
Yeah. I get easily distracted, so I'm like, I gotta make lists of things to do. Wasn't the bridge on here? See, the bridge wasn't even on here.